Hello, my name is Mike Parker and I'm a tree fruit extension specialist at North Carolina State University. One of the greatest advances in the apple industry in the past 20 or 30 years, in my opinion, has been the development of SmartFresh. SmartFresh is a product that we treat apples with after harvest that maintains the firmness and the acidity of the apple, thereby increasing the quality of the apple for a much longer period of time. The use of SmartFresh to treat fruit after harvest is a unique process. You need to expose the apples to the SmartFresh in an enclosed container for 24 hours. After that 24-hour period of time, the fruit are put back in general storage. In order to treat the fruit in an airtight container, large facilities such as a controlled atmosphere storage room need to be used. However, in North Carolina, many of our local growers do not have access to a controlled atmosphere storage. At North Carolina State University, we have been working for the past 8 years to find treatments, chambers, and facilities that our growers could use. Today, we'd like to share with you some of the treatment facilities that we've been able to develop for growers to treat smaller quantities of fruit. In order to use SmartFresh, the fruit need to be at a specific stage of maturity. AgroFresh, the company that handles SmartFresh, have developed guidelines for growers to use. Every year they put out an apple use recommendations that has recommendations for the maturity indices of every variety. As you can go through and look at that, they have a listing of the starch index that the fruit need to be at, as well as a firmness. In North Carolina, we would like to harvest our fruit at a later stage of maturity. We would like a tree-ripened fruit that we can then treat with SmartFresh to maintain that quality for a much longer period of time. The two indices that are being looked at primarily is going to be the starch index of the apple. We use the Cornell University 8-point starch maturity chart. Apples are cut in half, placed face down in a potassium iodide solution. As the apples mature, the starch, which stains black, is converted to sugar, which does not stain dark. In North Carolina, we would like to have an apple closer to this cleared area when we treat our fruit. The other index that is used to treat the fruit is firmness. In North Carolina, we look at a firmness. We measure that with a McCormick fruit firmness tester. It is just a strain gauge. We take a slice off the side of each apple. We insert the firmness meter into the apple to a prescribed line, and we look at firmness. After maturity, the next important piece of information off the chart here is how many days after harvest can you treat the fruit. We know that as that time increases, the fruit become less sensitive to the SmartFresh. In North Carolina, we recommend that apples be treated within 3 to a maximum of 5 days after harvest. We find fruit that are treated as closer to harvest, the treatment is much more effective on different varieties. You will purchase the SmartFresh to be used as Smart Tabs. SmartFresh will come in a blister pack of 10 tablets. Each tablet will treat approximately 123 cubic foot of air in the storage chamber. Along with that, you'll have an activator kit. An activator kit will be a small container that will have a seal on the top which you remove. This is placed back in the holder. Keep the top nearby. The top will have a hole. Make sure that that hole is clear. It is important that you measure the volume of your treatment facility so that you know how many SmartFresh tablets to use. As we talked about, measure the width, the height, and the depth of the chamber, then calculate out using 123 cubic foot per tablet so that you know how many SmartFresh tablets you'll need to put in your activator solution. The activator solution that comes with the SmartFresh tabs is good for using 1 to 10 tablets. So if you need to use 5 tablets, you'll have to receive more activator kits, but you can put up 10 of those tablets into the activator solution at a time. In North Carolina, when we began our evaluations approximately 10 years ago, we're using small treatment chambers that would treat up to 2 bins. We would make a PVC frame, 3/4-inch PVC frame, that would go around those bins. Then we used pallet covers to come over the top. We could treat 2 bins at a time with this. However, we found that many of our growers that were treating small quantities of fruit found that this system would work very well for them. So we have put together plans for this that are available from the company. Using pallet covers over a PVC frame, we put a piece of linoleum on the floor, and then we come in and we tape the bottom of the pallet cover to the linoleum floor. Being careful at the corners to make sure that you pull it out enough so that you can tape it and have a good seal. The goal is to have an airtight facility. Once you've got the chamber in place, you've taped the sides and the back, Leave the front open so that you can put the SmartFresh underneath here. Then take the activator kit, place in the 2 activator tablets, and then the required number of MCP tablets. Take them out of the blister pack, put them into the solution as well. Then screw the top back on the solution. Place the activator kit underneath the bins, pull the plastic down, and then tape the remaining edge in place. And then leave the chamber sealed for 24 hours before opening it again. The mechanism of the SmartFresh in the apples, it makes the apple insensitive to ethylene, or the ripening gas. It binds to the sites in apples where ethylene would normally bind, delaying the softening and acid decrease. So what we do to make sure that the treatment has been effective, because it is odorless and we cannot tell, we place tomatoes in the chamber at the breaker stage, just when they have a little bit of red. We take approximately 10 tomatoes, 5 we place inside the chamber, 5 we leave outside the chamber. Then once the treatment has been done, we put the tomatoes side by side on a tray, marking which is which, and you'll see a marked difference if the treatment has been effective 2 to 3 days later with those that have been subjected to the SmartFresh not advancing in maturity, where those that were left in the normal atmosphere continue to advance in maturity by color development. This is a cheap and effective way to determine how effective your SmartFresh treatment has been within several days after treatment. The 2-chamber works very well for smaller growers. However, many of our growers, roadside retail, needed to treat a greater quantity of fruit. So we started working with a local manufacturer, the Blimp Works in Statesville, North Carolina, which specializes in making polyethylene facilities and chambers. And we've came up and developed a 12-bin adjustable treatment chamber. The adjustable treatment chamber starts with a 4-bin footprint. So we have 4 bins in a square. We can also go up 2 layers high for 8 bins, or 3 bins high for 12 bins total in the treatment facility. This is lowered to a 4-bin configuration. With 4 bins, we need to use 2 SmartFresh tabs to treat the 4 bins. This is the 8-bin configuration. When we treat 8 bins, we're using 4 SmartFresh tabs to treat the 8 bins for 24 hours. This is the 12-bin configuration, and to treat 12 bins, we only need to use 5 SmartFresh tabs. The unique thing about this chamber, it comes with a very durable polyethylene covering. We can raise it and lower it. Also, the unique thing about it is at the base, it has a skirt, where with the 2-bin chamber, it's very difficult to come and get the corners. These have been built having a chamber that comes out, so we bring the skirt down to the floor. Then we can use several things. We want to weight that down. We have been using water bladders for swimming pool. We fill them with water. We have them out for demonstrations here, but they hold that chamber skirt to the ground. We can also use 2 or 3 inch lay flat irrigation tube and fill it full of sand so that it is laid on the skirt and flattens out and provides a great seal. Making sure that when you come to the corners that you need to overlap those weights so that we have an airtight seal. As I said at the beginning of our presentation, I believe that the use of SmartFresh has been one of the greatest advancements in apple post-harvest handling in the past 30 or 40 years. SmartFresh was developed at North Carolina State University by Dr. Sylvia Blankenship and Dr. Ed Sisler. They had a great impact on the North Carolina industry as well as on the global industry. This is another example how the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at North Carolina State University is having an impact on the agricultural industry.